Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 1. Sebastian Crawley sat on an icy cold metal bench that was actually his excuse of a bed, inside his little barred prison cell. The cell itself wasn't quite as bad as he had heard from the various elements of the criminal underworld that he had heard of over the years, but it certainly wasn't a 5-star luxury hotel. The cell was disgustingly small, with it being 2 meters by 2 meters in all directions, with thick steel metal bars forming 3 walls of his little cage, and a solid steel wall, that Sebastian firmly believed was in front of an escape hatch if only he could cut it open, formed the back wall. The entire cell stunk of pee, poo, and other foulness that Sebastian didn't even want to think about. There wasn't a mattress, pillow, or anything that Sebastian had always taken for granted when he had been a commander of the Empire Army. It never mattered what battlefield he was in, he always had the best equipment and luxurious items that the men under his command could only dream about. And they always dreamed about his coffee supply in particular. The foul sound of people shouting, cursing and pounding their fists against their metal bars made Sebastian look outside through the immense metal bars and out onto the corridor his cell was on. He had no idea what part of the blade-like prison ship he was on. He could have been near the bow, rear or mid-sections of the ship. There was also no way to tell it from the humming and minor vibrations of the engines. That was exactly how Sebastian normally told what part of the ship he was in, but he couldn't. These damn prison ships were far too well built for that, and the extremely long line of prison cells probably stretched on for a good kilometer or two, and Sebastian really hated to imagine how many prisoners were on this floor alone. Maybe 2,000 or 10,000. And it wasn't exactly like the corridor was anything to write home about, because it had an ugly black metal floor and metal ceiling, and its walls were lined with prison cells. There weren't any prison guard drones, protection officers or anything. If there was a medical emergency, a riot or anything, then Sebastian hated to imagine what would happen. But he wasn't completely ignorant to what happened to the criminals of the great human empire. As soon as someone was believed to commit a crime, especially one as horrific as treachery against the emperor, like anyone on this level was meant to have done, they lost all rights and weren't worth anything more than an insect. There were so many prisoners that it was just so confusing as to why Sebastian was here in the first place. He had been fighting, serving and protecting the amazing empire on some foul jungle world when the military police units of the Empire Army arrested him for treachery and put him personally onto this prison ship. Of course, because he was now a criminal in the eyes of the empire he loved, he had no rights. He couldn't even ask what his actual crime was. Sebastian was innocent. "Make sure this prisoner is kept alive at all costs," a slightly high-pitched man said. Sebastian didn't bother going up to the icy cold bars of his prison cell like the hundreds of other prisoners, because he could see a few cells up there was a man with a black uniformed prison guard, focusing on a prisoner. Sebastian had to admit the high-pitched man was hot as hell. He was extremely fit, skinny, and in his full-on blue battle armor with a logo of the ever-watchful Eye of the Inquisition on his chest plate, Sebastian felt his heart skip a few beats. The man couldn't have been more beautiful, and even as the man looked around and Sebastian saw his bright red eyes, he actually didn't care. The man was simply beautiful. "My master wants this prisoner no matter what," the man said to the guard. "No accidents, but I am not blind to the works of the prisoner corps. Feel free to kill and torture any of the mutants and traitorous scum on this ship." "Of course, my lord," the guard said. Sebastian turned his attention away from the hot man, as hard as that was considering he probably wasn't going to see another hot man for centuries, and focused on the disgusting prisoner in the cell the hot man was interested in. The traitor herself wasn't too remarkable because she had been stripped of her clothes. Her cybernetic earring attachments had been ripped out, making 2 gaping holes in the side of her head, but the woman was still grinning, like she knew something no one else did. Sebastian really wished he was still an Empire army commander with his gun so he could feel a little safer, but he didn't have anything. He had only his wit, strength, and belief in the Emperor. For all that was worth now, the Empire believed him to be a traitor. "Like this one," the hot man said, standing in front of Sebastian's cells. "Do whatever you wish with this one." Sebastian weakly smiled at the hot man. "Tell me, traitor, how do you want to die?" the hot man asked. Sebastian shook his head. "I am loyal to the throne. I am loyal to the Emperor. I am guilty of no crime." The hot man laughed. "Everyone says that, and everyone is guilty on this floor of treachery against the Emperor. There is no greater crime against humanity, so rest assured, traitor, that you will die by the blade of righteousness, and you will never be able to atone for your sins against the Emperor." Sebastian didn't dare laugh or anything, because he partly wanted to make the hot man believe that he was innocent. If anyone could help him escape this prison ship, it was him. Even the agents of the Inquisition had immense power over the Empire. Maybe Sebastian could get this hottie to help him. But the hot man simply walked away, and someone started tapping the cold metal bars of their cell to get his attention. Sebastian looked over to the traitor the hot man had been interested in, and she smiled. "Don't worry, little human," she said. "Your death will come a lot sooner than that when my friends show up."
Welcome back, everyone. It's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the internet engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.